All right. Again, welcome. Hey, John from Toronto. Ruth and Harvey. Good to see you guys. Hey, Trish. Hey, Beth.
There we go.
All right, guys, getting started here in 1 minute. So, for you folks joining us on Facebook and YouTube, welcome also. You can type your questions into the chat also, and we will see them here in the main studio. Righty, the crowd is growing, and a whole bunch of you have not introduced yourself. So please, just type in a name and where you are from. Ian and Sue, how are you guys? No Oscar tonight. He is starting a tour in Panama City. Hey, Debbie Garrison. Yeah, Ian, a 3-week cold. I don't like those. Ugh, horrible flu.
Finally better.
Yeah, finally, I'm still at like 90% probably. Paul from Texas. All right, the crowds are growing. What do we got? We got 7:01 tonight, folks. We are talking about small moves, like not a container, like you're shipping too much to take on the airplane. How do you do it? And for those of you interested in container moves, we did that last week. If you missed it, I'm just going to put that YouTube video replay in the chat right now. So you might want to bookmark that. And for those of you who do not follow us on YouTube, please do, because you'll get notified of what the Q&A is and when it's about to start. So go hit subscribe on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube right now, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. Okay, so we're going to get started here very shortly. We should tell people who we are, Megan. What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So we're Retired Panama Tours. I am our operations director. My husband Oscar is our tour guide, and he's leading a tour, kicking one off right now in Panama City with our driver. And I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I found myself here in Panama in the Peace Corps and absolutely fell in love with the country. Ended up meeting my now husband and joined on to the Retire in Panama team, and did the tours for a while. Got to learn a lot about tourism in Panama and all the different expat towns here. And now I get to meet our awesome groups when they're here in Boquete area. And I help set up all of the operations and logistics, and of course, supporting our guests when they do decide to move here too.
All right. My name is Rod Larrabee. I'm a Canadian, moved to Panama 13 years ago this month. I like to tell my story shortly. I did it the wrong way. I knew nothing, knew nobody, bought a one-way ticket, arrived in Panama. And I got in trouble. I met the wrong people. I had people trying to take my money. I had people trying to take my assets. And it just became a gong show within 3 months. And I luckily ran into this guy called Oscar Pena, who everyone in this little town of Boquete I wanted to settle in referred me to. And he was already working here 13 years ago, helping expats move to Panama. So we met. I liked him. Things were good. So he started fixing all my problems, and we hit it off. And my business was marketing, and so I was helping him market his business. Then he was helping me get all this stuff done. Within a year, I was legal and everything was in order, and we became business partners. We opened a small tourism company in Boquete, which had an office, which ended up being a walk-in help us. We need help from expat type of an office. So then we thought, really, like we like helping people, but we would rather put out rather than putting out fires, we like to help people do it right from the start. And so that's where we started Retire in Panama Tours. So that is what we do. We do 7-day cross country tours once every month. We do 3-day Cherokee Highlands tours just of the Cherokee province. We do those about 4 times a year. Yeah, and our tours are small group tours, like 8 to 15 people totally maximum. And we do them in bands. They are so we're more smaller group. All 3 of us are involved in the tour. Oop, I need to stop sharing the screen. Yeah, all 3 of us are involved in the tour. Oscar and our driver do the first few days in Panama City and the beaches. I meet them up in Cherokee beaches of Las Lajas, and Megan meets us and joins us on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we learn everything you need to know about moving to and living in Panama. And like I say, today we are talking about. Last week, we did container moves. We talked to a company called International Relocation Partner. I put the YouTube video link in the chat where they can slap a container on your driveway. You can load it. They can send a team to load it, and they can deliver it to you in Panama. Today, we're going to talk about smaller moves. If you got more than you can take on the plane, less than a pallet or 2, how do you get your stuff efficiently to Panama? Then after that segment, we're going to talk about receiving mail in small packages, like your Amazon stuff in Panama and stuff like that, and how you're going to do that. And then we'll end it off with a quick Q&A at the end. So today we are going to introduce a good friend of ours from here in Boquete. And we've known Eliezer for, oh goodness, many, many years. I think he's been here longer than us. Hey, Megan?
For as long as Oscar, maybe?
Yeah. Well, we'll ask him in a second. He owns a company called Servotechnics that can help you get your boxes or pellet from Miami to Panama, any place in Panama, actually. Let's bring Eliezer to the stage.
Hola, hola. Hi, how are you?
How are you? Right
Sorry,
on.
I said
Good to see
maybe
you
as
again
long as
today.
Oscar in Boquete. Obviously, you've been in Panama your whole life.
Yeah, Eliezer is Panamanian. Where were you born?
I'm from Panama City, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. How long have you been in Boquete?
Well, I moved here a year after Oscar, 2012.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you moved here just as a kid, so basically. You and Oscar were young kids
really.
back
I started coming here frequently back in 1989.
then. Uh-huh.
By 1990, I decided that I want to retire here. But when I got 40, quite time ago, I say, why not now? So I just moved.
But you didn't
and
retire.
started your business then.
No, you started a coffee shop.
Actually, I started the business in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
It was a small business. And I remember right now exactly how many pounds we moved the first month was only 20 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay. I do. Megan does 20 pounds a month.
But as every small business, you start like that. Now we are moving people, couples, singles, families all over Panama City and the country, including Boquete, the beaches, Bocas, you name it. And
sorry, go ahead.
And moving around, well, transporting around 4 tons per month
Hmm.
of several stuff. It could be small packages,
Yeah.
even mailing,
Hmm.
up to full containers if you need it for moving purposes, of course. But yeah, that's the service we provide right now.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. We're going to be sharing his contact very shortly here. And what we have found in our business that what LAS's company is really great for is that 4, 6 to 50, 100 box type move. Especially if you're in Florida or close to Florida, it's perfect. He can help you from your door to the door here. If you are in other parts of the country, he can suggest people that you use to get the product to his building in Florida, where he will consolidate on containers and ship it ocean freight, so it's affordable to actually get it here. So, let's say a customer, like we're going to take questions from you guys or anytime. I should ask your questions that you want to ask Eliezer. Save general questions till the end, please. And so let's do a scenario. Eliezer, I live in Montana and I have 20 boxes that I need to send to Panama. I contact you. What are you going to tell me to do?
Well, basically, I start by doing several questions like the type of moving that you're preparing, if it's only personal um, items, or if that includes furniture. Um, Probably I can give you tips on how to pack if you don't have any idea what's the best way. Um, if you live in an apartment or if you live in a house, it may be a different logistic because probably you can save money by preparing your own pallet, or if not many items to send, like boxes or totes, then you can use, the regular carrying companies that everybody knows, like USPS, FedEx Ground, UPS, whatever. If your load is a little bit bigger than a pallet, or let's say you have a quantity of boxes or totes that you don't know how big it's going to be, or how heavy, or how to handle it, then I can suggest you different companies that are nationwide. So you can ask quotes from them in terms of preparing your cargo, picking it up, and bringing it to Florida, where is our base home. So it all depends on each case. And the first approach is usually by a WhatsApp call or by email as well. I give you guidance since day one until you receive your cargo at your location here in Panama. And it could be as fast as a week to, to figure out everything and put it together, or it may quite time depending on when you are leaving the country, or where you're going to have all your stuff prepared for moving, or what you decide to move, because that's a big question too. Should I bring my, I don't know, my gym, or should I bring my couch, or should I bring my table? And that's something that I can help you with, but at the end you have to make the decision, and based on
Yeah.
your decision, then I help you.
So you can deliver this anywhere in Panama, correct?
Everywhere in Panama.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
what
that's one of the
questions do
best
you guys
things. It's a
have
very
about?
personalized
Please type them in
service.
the chat. Go ahead, Megan.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying it's a very personalized service. And I think we should also mention like the reason why, I mean, for obviously big moves and getting your stuff here, you need a service like this, but also just to get your regular mail. Like most of you are going to end up using a mail forwarder, because there is no local post office mail delivery in Panama like we're used to in the US. There's an international post office, but it's quite slow.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so much more reliable to use a mail forwarder like Eliezer, who's then you're going to pay on the weight of that package from Miami to Panama. So you want to make sure you're, like he's saying, deciding what you want to bring, what you want to order on Amazon, etc., and calculating the cost of bringing that depending on the size.
Yeah, we're
of the
going to
weight.
get into a full segment on shipping packages and stuff. Let's finish up with, let's start with the questions on moving your original belongings.
Great.
Now, one thing, Eliezer, do people have to have a certain paperwork and immigration done or anything to move with you?
Well, this is a tricky question, and let's put it this way. It all depends on the type of license your freight forwarder is working on.
Yeah.
The license we work with doesn't require a legal statement, a legal document here in Panama. So it doesn't matter if you don't have your residence yet. You can move your stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
The
They
way
don't really have to worry about that type of a paperwork because with the
No,
container guys, they want you to have, you need the lawyers involved and everything sometimes.
no,
Yeah.
no. Usually, when you get a pensionados status or retired, what law says is that you're able to bring your stuff tax free, even a car tax free. But what they don't tell you is that in order to use that privilege, you need to hire a lawyer.
Mhm.
And sometimes the lawyer's fees are even more expensive than actually paying taxes on that.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. We have
it all
seen that.
it all depends on how much stuff are you bringing.
Yeah. And it's not as if they value it as brand new stuff. It's your used stuff. It doesn't have a high value. So it's never going to have
Yeah,
a lot of tax.
yeah. That's why when I talk to the clients, I ask them for a couple of things. One of them is a list of content, a very general and brief list of content. So I can estimate, according to what they are declaring, the minimum value for use items.
Mhm.
It's gonna help us to clear custom faster. It's gonna help the custom broker to do its job without any further inspection, just the declaration.
Mhm.
So with that, I mean that the way we receive your boxes in Miami, for example, is the way you're gonna receive them here. No one's gonna touch them. No one's gonna open it. No one's gonna question about it
Yeah.
because they are personal use items.
Mhm.
Now, if you want to buy everything new just to move it here, that's another history. But no one
Yeah.
does that.
Kind of silly. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Let's get into some questions here, Eliezer. Right here. What tips do you have on preparing a pallet? If somebody has a garage and wants to prepare their pallet, what's the procedure there? We're loading it and
Well, to prepare a pallet by yourself, the first thing is you need uh, space. Let's say you have a good sized garage and you want to fix your own pallet. The entrance of that garage has to be at least 80 inches tall.
80.
Then you need to get a pallet. Then you need to get a graphene plastic roll, and at some point you will need to tie down to the pallet your cargo. Um, for many people, this is the hardest part, unless you have a background in packing or transporting cargo like this. What I recommend you is, in most cases, is try to deal with a moving company, an existing local moving company that can prepare your pallet or pallets and let them ready for pickup from the carrier you choose. Um, if you live in apartment building, of course you won't be able to do that. So the best way for you to do this is to get your stuff to a local company that can pallet that for you and then carry that to our location in Florida. There are companies that do the whole process. Those moving companies, you can get them locally or you can contact the nationwide companies like, for example, Estes Express, that is very known, and they can give you a quote at least to compare with the local companies.
Perfect. Okay. So how or what, like, what is the maximum size of the pallet? I think most people know it's 4x4. How high can you go?
Well, and standard pallet is 48 by 40 inches.
Yeah, 48 by 40.
We call a 4 by 4, but actually it can go a little bit wider and deeper than that. It can be a 52 by 48, for
Mhm.
example. And we can go as high as 84 inches, which is a big pallet.
Yeah.
Um, Again, depending on the cargo you're bringing, I can recommend you the best height. It's not the same bringing light stuff at 84 inches high than bringing heavy stuff at 84 inches high. It's
Mhm.
for the safety of your cargo, of course. In some cases, if you're not bringing much, let's say all your stuff can be up to 4 feet high, what I recommend you to use is the containers, which are basically big cardboard boxes with lids
Mhm.
that you can fill with all your loose items inside without boxing them.
Yeah, and,
And,
and and they sit on a pallet, correct?
and they set exactly on the size of a pallet.
Mhm.
But I like to study and suggest this case by case because I can add pictures, examples on how to pack this if you want to do it yourself or if you want to hire someone to do it. You know, it's, each case is different.
Perfect. What tips do you have to prevent damage when you're packing stuff?
Wow. Packing material is good. Um, what I recommend the best is using plastic totes, the one with the plastic lids
Mhm.
that you can actually tie to the tot with tie wraps and stack them on the pallet. Um, get your fragile stuff in the middle of all the things that are not subject to damage. Let's say
Yeah.
you want to bring a, I don't know, a TV screen. Okay, you can put that in the middle of the pallet and surround them with boxes or tots. That's the best way to do it. But again, in each case, I can help you packing from the distance if you want to do it yourself. If you have a service close to you that can do that for you, well, you just need to tell them what is fryer and what is not, and and check the process.
Mhm. You had given a name earlier of a freight company that can move that stuff to Miami, an international one. What was it?
Well, nationwide, what you have is
How do I
Express.
spell that?
Estes Express is one of the nationwide
Oh,
companies that you
that's
can,
Express.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Estes, like ESTES,
Yeah,
Express.
ETES Express. Yeah, put it in the chat.
Also, you can contact PODS, PODS, or U chips. U chips.
Mhm.
Um, the typical ones, if you want to send boxes but not palletized, it could be FedEx Ground or even USPS.
Mhm. Okay, are there any holding charges once the pallet arrives in PC in Panama City?
Again, excuse me?
Are there any holding charges once the pallet arrives in Panama City?
Well, you mean storage?
Yeah, I think that's what they mean.
Well, what I do offer to everyone, because everyone has different times, is once we get the pallet cleared in customs, I can store them for 2 3 weeks without any charge.
Mhm.
Okay, there is people always asking me, oh man, I don't have my papers, I have to stay in Panama City until I get my visa before going to my home. Can you hold them for a week, two, whatever? Yes, sure, we can do that. If let's say you want to send this today and you're going to fly in 2 3 months, well then a storage fee applies, but it's
Mhm.
not much. It's $50 per pallet per month. And I can hold that in Panama City if you're going to be in Panama or close to the beaches, or I can hold it in the middle of the country if you're going to the Peninsula de Azuero or central provinces, or I can hold it here in David if you're going to stay in Volcan, Boquete, Chiriquí area.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything that might be illegal that you would not expect besides your pot plants? You cannot ship those.
Well,
Okay, I'm kidding. No,
not,
like
not
no, that's a good question. Like cosmetics, personal care, is there anything like that you can't ship?
well, basically the saying that everyone knows: no guns,
Yeah,
no ammo,
yeah, no weaponry.
no gun parts,
Hmm.
no drugs. And when I say drugs, I mean illegal drugs.
Hmm.
And I'm not referring to illegal drugs in the States. I'm referring on illegal drugs in Panama.
Yeah, which is everything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mostly.
yeah.
And I wouldn't recommend to bring alcohol. We have a lot here and it's cheaper than there. Uh, no tobacco. That's a prohibition. And other than that, you can bring anything else. I mean, you can bring lithium batteries, your electric bikes if you want. You can bring dry food, um, pet food as well,
Mhm.
if you have a choice. No live plants. They're going to be ruined by the
No
time they get
seeds. Yeah,
here.
no plants or seeds.
Yeah. If you are a planter, you have your own little garden,
Mhm.
you can bring your own seeds.
Oh yeah.
I always tell people it's not the same bringing a pound of variety of seeds than bringing 50 pounds of seeds that obviously is not for personal use.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
It's for commercial intended use. So yeah, if it is for your own use, sure, you can bring that too.
Okay. I've got a question from Sylvia. We get this question a lot about they're not bringing a lot of stuff. They have a couple extra baggage, like a couple extra bags. Should they ship them with you or with the airline? Honestly, Sylvia, you're going to have to quote both. You can ask LES or how much, and
Yeah,
then ask the airline.
it all depends where are you
Yeah.
flying from.
Sometimes it can be
Uh,
a lot cheaper, but
Exactly.
sometimes it won't be.
If you're gonna fly from, let's say, Seattle, Washington to Panama, which I guess they have a direct flight with Copa Airlines, of course, is if you're not bringing too much, is faster and cheaper to get extra luggage.
Yeah.
But if you're close to Florida, you have your location is, I don't know, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, even New Mexico. It is cheaper to bring everything to Miami and then ship it to Panama.
Okay.
But again, it's not the same bringing one extra suitcase than bringing 20 boxes.
Yeah. I always tell people at Eliester, hey, this is a start of a new life. Buy a first class ticket, bring 3 75-pound bags.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is like
Enjoy
that.
yourself. Okay. All righty. I got a great question here. Oh, yeah. We talked about the hazardous goods. So basically, everything we had talked about there.
Well,
The hazard.
DGs, we can bring DGs. DGs are hazardous,
The
like
what?
the hazardous goods. Uh, is what we call DGs, dangerous
Oh,
goods.
okay.
Um, a big dangerous good may be a solar system battery.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's
Yeah, but you
heavy.
can do that. Yes.
That is heavy. That is bulky, and it can go on every flight or any pallet as regular cargo.
Mhm.
In that case, we receive that. Um, we prepare once a month a container with all the dangerous goods, and it's a different bill of lading for that kind of cargo, and we take care of that all the way here. A little dangerous good, like for example, it's very common. People ordering perfumes by Amazon or by eBay, whatever, and then they ask, "Oh, I ordered this a week ago, and I should have it already." Well, sorry, but that's a dangerous good, and as dangerous good, they don't fly every day as the other stuff. So we have to wait until 10 days to have it here. But yeah, we can bring that kind of hazardous.
Okay. Great question. A lot of Canadians on this call here tonight. Do you have any recommendations for them to get their boxes or pallet down to Florida?
Wow.
And you can get a lot of business here if you can solve this.
The good, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah,
The
because
good,
they got to go through customs.
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
good is that you may find a company locally in Canada that has to be very sure to handle correctly the customs in USA in order to get your cargo as cargo in transit to Panama.
Okay. So they can avoid customs. Yes.
If they don't do that, customs at US is gonna hold your cargo until you fulfill a lot of paperwork, and then we'll ask you to get a bonded warehouse that usually this carrier don't have, but we can arrange that to receive it in a bonded area in Miami in order to go directly to the shipping company and then departure to Panama. But this has extra costs and extra time. So I recommend you to do the due diligences with the companies locally in Canada that can handle that kind of movings,
Hmm.
that are not going to stay in United States. It's going to Panama. So
Yeah.
has to be declared as personal belongings in transit to Panama.
Okay. Now I got a bunch of questions. I'm not going to bring up each one. Of course, people are asking. Can you give us an estimate from here to there of what a pellet costs from Florida, from Miami to Panama? What is a
Well,
typical average pellet? An average price.
okay. It's based on the volume.
Yeah.
The charge by sea from Florida to Colón, which is in the Atlantic side of Panama, is $12 per cubic foot, saying that the tighter you package, the cheaper for you, because it's not regarding to weight; it's just for volume.
So 4x4x6 pallet is 4x4x6 is 96 cubic feet.
Yeah,
Is about
times 12
$1,152.
times 12. It gives you an idea of how much is the sea freight. On top of that, you have to pay a fixed fee of $16.50 for the custom broker.
16.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're bringing, I don't know, half a pallet or bringing 16 pallets. It's
How much was that, Eliezer?
$69.50.
69, so $70. Okay.
For the broker, the custom broker, for the paperwork, and the inland delivery from Colón to your location, wherever in Panama, is $150 per pallet.
Okay, so 150. So for you guys with calculators, a big full size pallet 1372 is the estimate. Do not hold them to that.
Yeah.
He will quote you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And those
a couple
prices,
last minute questions.
Sorry?
Good. No, go ahead.
Well, those prices have been like that since 2020. We don't expect to change those rates unless there is something extremely catastrophic that could occur. We went through the pandemic, and also the war in Ukraine raised the rates on the shipping companies, but we managed as a group to stay with the same rates up to now.
Good, great. Okay. Want to introduce quickly, give you Eliezer's contact name, contact information here. I am trying to bring it up on the screen. Oh, it's already on the screen. Oh, it's already there. Okay, where are we here? There he is. Okay, oops.
There.
Do a screenshot, write that down. I can't copy and paste that. Apologize. So I'll give you guys a second to do a little screenshot of that or write it down. Or if you forget it, Megan and I would happy to introduce you guys personally to Eliezer. Just send us an email on our website. Okay, so a couple other final questions. Now, yes, spices and vitamins are fine. You don't have to. The list Eliezer is going to want you is a general list. You're not going to have to put a price beside every item. He just wants the general list for, so they can calculate a general customs rate for used product. But Eliezer, thank you very much. I'm going to leave this up here as we say goodbye to you for tonight. Thank you very much for coming. That is his contact information, guys. WhatsApp or his email, servatechnics.pty@gmail.com. And get him to quote your move, and you'll be happy with his service. We have been personally using Eliezer for many, many years and with our company, and we're always happy with his service. So thank you for joining us. We got to carry on with the Q&A. We're going to talk about, what's that, Megan?
Great info.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about mail service here and stuff like that, but we will include your business and that, of course, because we use you in Boquete, as you know. But thank you, Eliezer.
Well, thank you, guys. You can call me anytime.
24/7. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, actually, believe me, I that's part of the job.
Yeah, that's right, eh? Especially when the shipment's missing.
Yeah.
Or
But
they think it is.
to,
Let's call it.
to everyone that is listening, let me tell you, uh, sometimes it's stressful, especially if this is your first, and for in many cases you think it's gonna be your final moving. But let us take care of that. It is an easy process if you have common sense and you follow some tips and regular indications. It's not that hard, believe me.
Perfect. All righty. Thank you,
Awesome.
Eliezer, and we'll
Thank
see
you so
you
much.
See
next
you
time on
guys.
the
We'll
package.
see you soon.
Okay. Megan, you take it away with explaining how the mail works, how we get our Amazon, eBay, and whatever packages here. You are the expert at that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so yeah, I started to get into it a little bit earlier in the call. If we have any latecomers, I mentioned that we don't have a local mail delivery system here. So there are no mailboxes. Most houses don't really have real addresses. There aren't many road signs. So how do we get our mail down here? There is an international post office where you can get mail through, and it's a general mail delivery. So it would be your address would basically just be your name, entrega general, general delivery, and then the town that you're in Panama and the zip code. But unless the sender puts their phone number on there, then maybe the post office will call you when it arrives. But often you just gotta check in and see when it came, and it could be a month or longer, really, to get a letter or a package. So most of us use a mail forwarding service. So Eliezer provides that, and there are so many others in the country that you can choose from. One of the biggest ones is Mailboxes, etc. They're worldwide, and they have branches all over Panama. We really like them because they are customs approved. They have an application. So as soon as, say, I order something today on Amazon and it's Prime and it arrives to my address, mailbox's address tomorrow in Miami, as soon as they have it, they're processing it. It pops up on the app and says processing in Miami. Then the next day in transit to Panama, and then a couple days after that, ready for pickup in your Boquete office, in my case. Um, so that's really convenient. Servi Technics also has a great option for stuff like that. Um, and he will also call you as soon as your package is in his office. They do charge you on the wait to get the package or the letter from Miami to Panama. So you want to make sure you're ordering things that aren't too heavy if you're doing air freight. For example, I think Eliezer and maybe even mailboxes is coming in somewhere around $5 a pound. The benefit with mailboxes for small stuff is that they will um, charge you by the gram. Um, and they also have some like monthly plans so that you can get your letter mail is included, and then you get a slightly better rate. They also, if you're not sure how much you're going to be getting into Panama, and you just want to have an address for now and use a pay as you go plan, I think that one's around $7 a pound to start out with mailboxes. And then they both offer sea freight options if you want to order something online that's a little bit heavier or a little bit larger. Eliezer has a good rate by the pound, and then mailboxes actually goes by cubic foot. So depending if it's bulky or heavy, you can get both the quotes there and choose the better rate. Let me see. Is there anything else I'm missing? You don't. So when you do set up your mail forwarding, you don't want to do a general mail redirection
Yeah.
from your address back in the States, because you don't want to pay to get all of that junk mail to you here in Panama. So definitely just give the address to the important people, your friends, family, your bank, the IRS, those types of things, where like if you need a new bank card or you want to get your social security check in the mail here, you can do it that way. What else am I missing, Rod?
Well, there are more than 100 of these companies in Panama. Do your due diligence. There are only 26 to 28 of them legally allowed to operate by customs, and we only promote those companies. There are many small guys. I remember here, it was the year after COVID, a new place opened up. I forget what it was called, Hot Express or something. I don't know. And they were like, everyone's going, oh, they're $2.50 a pound. They're so cheap. And things were going great for about 3 months. And then the posts on Facebook one day were, their business isn't open. I can see my package inside. And then a day later, there's yellow tape on the doors, and they got caught. They were a front for moving illegal cars inside their containers from Florida. So anyone can open up a freight forwarding company and sneak product into the country. It's not that difficult. So do your due diligence. I showed some on the screen here, some of the popular good ones in other areas. And actually, Mailbox has 30 locations. And I do want to show you one thing. A lot of people say Mailbox is too expensive. That depends on your pattern. Now, here in Boquete, both Oscar, Megan, and me, about half of our business goes to Eliezer and half goes to Mailbox. We like to spread our business around. And also, they're both excellent companies. So, present. Oh, okay. I just got to put a screen share on. Select my screen. Okay. Now, I don't know. Is my screen sharing, Megan?
No.
No. It says it is. Something's blocking it.
You have to add to stage.
No, it says right there, sharing. Oh.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, this is currently today. I screenshotted this a few minutes ago. What's in transit through Mailbox, etc. Now I order about three things a week. That's my average. I got 3 things coming in. Those are the prices I'm paying: $1.35, $1.35, and 79 cents. Why? Because they're all under a pound. I ordered a cable, a little adapter cable, a vitamin, and a watch band. So no one else can come close to that, but I'm on their plan. I spend $28 a month. I get 4.5 pounds included in that. I get a box on the wall with a key for my letter mail, which is free. And I pay 1.1 cents per gram. So you really have to consider, if you're a big user, not one shipment is ever going to be exactly 1 pound, exactly 2 pounds, exactly 3 pounds. So if your shipment is 1.4 pounds, is your carrier charging you 2 pounds? Most of them do. They round up 1 pound at a time. If they're $4, then it'll be $8. With Mailbox, I pay 1.4 pounds. So you got to do the math. If you are a big user, Mailbox is an excellent service. But like I say, I have things that, I'm looking, it's going to be a 10-pound item. Of course, I'm going to ship that. I'm going to give that business to Eliezer because he's buying a pound cheaper. So it's all going to be relevant to your use. They're both excellent companies. But Eliezer only offers the mail service in Boquete. He offers the moving service all over Panama. Anyhow, what else you got, Megan?
I wanted to mention that there are some things you want to know there are fees on. Like there'll be a 7% sales tax if the item's over $100
Oh,
in
yes,
value.
that's right too. Yeah.
Electronics have like a 25% duty on if you're going through mailboxes. I think certain wood products. There's certain duties just to be aware of if you're
Yeah. You got like I
ordering.
consider almost every shipment to save me money because I know this is an expense. Who I'm going to ship it to, and I'll ship
Yep.
with the carrier that's going to be the best. I forgot about that. Thank you, Megan. Okay. A lot of people ask about virtual addresses. They are great. They scan your mail, open it. You still need a physical mail thing to receive your debit cards, credit cards, lost debit cards, credit cards, or like the renewal. Like you still need that physical mail service here. But for the rest of your mail, if you don't want to get it, you can use a virtual. I just found that it cost me nothing because I pay monthly for a mailbox, etc. Because I bring so many packages, my mail doesn't cost anything. So it doesn't sound like it's free. It is, but a letter is 1 gram, so it costs a penny. So it's virtually free. So I just left that, and I get my bank sends me the odd letter, and most of the stuff's online banking. CRA used to, they don't anymore because I'm no longer a resident of Canada. My aunts used to send me birthday money every year, like $10. I wanted to make sure I had an address for that. So
Did you see somebody asked if you could go over those calculations you did on the pallet one more time?
the calculations on the pallet, yes. It's $12 a cubic foot. A 4x4. I'm typing in the chat as I do this. A 4x4 by 6 pallet is 96 cubic foot times $12 equals $1,150.
And then it was plus a $70
Plus
custom.
$70 customs plus $150 delivery. There's your calculation. Oops.
Perfect.
150 plus 70. So you're looking at 1150, 1250, 1370 for a pellet from Miami to your door here. Perfect. Any general questions you guys have?
We have this one about Chitriana Express. They're going to be in Las Tablas area. There is a mailboxes in Las Tablas, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, there is.
But I know a lot of people in the Azuero region that use Chitriana Express as well, and I've heard good things.
Mailbox is not in Volcan. Everyone uses Alliance Group. What did I call it? In Volcan. She's been there forever. Apparently, she's excellent. Alana Group. You can just Google it or check out the groups. You will find her. Alana Group. I'm pretty sure it's 2 L's. I'm not 100% sure though. I think they're the only ones. Box Shop might deliver up there. I don't know. eShop is good. Yes. They're a quality company, been around for years. Okay. All right. I hope I didn't miss any questions. That someone didn't have a general question up here.
I think we got most of them.
Yeah, we're just going to wind it down, guys.
Here's a good one. Since we mentioned
Karen, this is a good question, Karen.
Oh.
Which forward is Miami charged by weight and which by volume? Most of the good forwarders do both. And that means by weight is always air. And by volume is typically sea freight. Now, some go by weight, but it's pretty averaged out, and it gets down to $2 a pound on something big. But if you actually, mailbox is solely by cube. So if you're shipping a generator, a battery box, you're shipping liquid. Like I buy my juice for my winemaking from California. It's 3 boxes is 3 cubic feet, and they weigh 60 pounds, 20 pounds per box. I get that shipped for $40 through mailbox because they charge $40 for every 3 cubic feet, and there's no tax on grape juice. So that's 80 cents a pound. So that really small, heavy stop mailbox is great. But the other sea freight guys, like E-Box, LESer, they're all around 2 to 250. I bought a e-bike. I bought an e-bike out of the States and I shipped it through LESer. The reason, because it's 9 cubic feet, the box. E-bike, it's fully assembled bike. But it was only 58 pounds. And he brought it in for $2 a pound. So it was very affordable to ship an e-bike all the way from Florida. I keep my Amazon Prime so I don't pay for shipping in the States. Karen?
This one from Mark.
Mhm.
Are electronics reasonable in Panama versus
Yeah.
ordering and paying shipping?
Yeah, at the grocery store, not that I'd ever buy my big screen from a grocery store, they had a 65-inch Roku TV. I wouldn't buy that just because it's Roku. But anyways, it was like $249, like huge TV. I think you have to have 20 stamps or something, but if you shop there, you have those. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty competitive pricing. Like if you think about the import on it, I mean, it's going to be a little bit more than the price you see on Amazon, but by the time you get that Amazon product here, it probably evens out.
I even
But it's
advise
the same
people, don't
product.
bring your TVs. It's a high chance of them breaking. And check the back of your TV. If it says 50 to 60 hertz, you're okay. If it says 60 hertz, I would leave it behind. It just won't last here. Because power here, most of it's 50 hertz still.
Michael Roop asks, will CRA send to a Florida forwarding address?
Mine does, yes. Mine used to, yes. And so do my Canadian banks. Both send to a Florida address. Many people, it's very common. We have 1 million Canadians that have a homes in the U.S. and spend half a year there at least. So I was really worried about that in the beginning. Note the CRA will not direct deposit to Panama now. There is a group through the embassy, Canadian embassy here, petitioning the CRA because right now they do it to, I think, 12 countries. Great Britain, Spain, and a few other expat type countries, but they're not doing Panama anywhere in Latin America yet. Susan, your shipping address is going to be a Miami address.
Yeah, I think that's similar to this one. So your mailbox's address will actually be your name and then their Miami address where they send out all their packages.
The street address, yeah.
Yeah, the street address. And then your special PTY unique identifier number, Miami, Florida.
Which you can just put in the second line or end of the street, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm.
And then depending where you live in Panama, you might have a real address or not.
Typically not. If you live in a building, then you have apartment number and then the building name, so everyone knows how to find you.
Yeah. If you're us, then you're just in the beige house across from the church or the park.
Yeah, next to the pineapple tree. Yeah.
Right.
YouTube. Karen, YouTube is where we go. YouTube, let me type that address in.
You can watch our Q&As on Facebook too, but it's easier to browse on our YouTube channel and find them all.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you will get a notification the day of our Q&A. We have one every week, and it tells you what the Q&A is going to be about tonight, so you can decide whether you're going to watch it. Next week is our big one. All three of us will be here. It's our general Q&A. Ask absolutely anything, and we will answer it, as long as we know it. And if we don't know it, we get back to you.
Exactly. We'll find out.
Okay. Sorry, I just got a notification. This Q&A is about to end. I've never had those before. Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions?
I think we got all of them.
All right. Well, folks, thank you for joining us tonight. Like I said, next week live Q&A with Oscar, Megan, and Rod. And truthfully, we're the guys that answer all your questions, whatever you want, and we're not going to tell you you got to go buy something to get the answer, or no, we're going to just give you the answer. It's our way to give back to the community, but we still want you to come on our tour. And we just had a cancellation in November 12th tour for a couple.
That's right.
Or single wants to come can take the room too. So we do have that one spot. Otherwise, we're sold out till March. But please plan on coming next year with us.
Awesome. We look forward to meeting some of you in Panama.
All right.
Thanks for joining tonight.
Talk soon, guys. Bye-bye.